Since the dawn of mankind, humans have sought to find answers to life's most persistent questions. Is there a God? Are we alone in the universe? Who was the first person to look at a cow and think, I think I'll drink whatever comes out of those things when I squeeze them? And finally, how can I genetically engineer crops to make my life easier? Since the first genetically modified tomato was commercially available for human consumption in 1994, there has been a steady battle between the pro and anti-GM camps. Will GM produce turn our world into an amazingly healthy and productive landscape, or will it morph our way of life into a hellish sterile wasteland that only Clive Owen can save? Let's try to have a brief, rational, scientific view of what we know so far. Gene modification has been going on for thousands of years through selective crossbreeding. Genetic engineering is a new technology that can isolate individual genes, transfer genes between species, and do all of this much faster than ever before. In May 1994, the first genetically engineered product, the Flavor Saver tomato, was sold commercially. The genetically engineered food industry has soared since then, primarily in corn, cotton, and soybeans. In fact, the Center for Food Safety estimates that 75% of processed foods contain GM foods. So what exactly is the benefit of genetic engineering? Why do it? The main goal is to grow more food for the world. There are more than 7 billion people in the world, and 1 in 9 of us do not have enough food. Those against GMOs are worried that the food themselves might be dangerous. They are also worried about the environment. Over the years, a number of articles and studies have warned that GMOs pose health risks. Scientific studies, however, have determined that these headline-making stories have little truth behind them. The vast majority of these studies are being done by independent scientists, not corporations. So who can we believe? Are GMOs good or bad? What we found in our research is that GMOs aren't a perfect solution, but neither are they the terrible technology destined to kill us all. The overwhelming evidence from animal studies shows that GM feed causes no adverse effects. Human studies are virtually non-existent, however. Based on all of the available data, the logical conclusion is that we need much more data. Careful long-term studies on humans are needed. The big challenge to this is tracing genetically modified products in the food supply, but genetically modified foods are not labeled in the US, making it hard to conduct studies. Moving forward, it is important to create transparency and proper labeling for GM foods. This will help scientific research and also let consumers make educated decisions for themselves. Thankfully, we have the Safe and Accurate Food Labeling Act of 2015, which, as the name implies, would require that food companies label their GM foods. Just kidding. The name of this act is actually a misnomer because if passed, it would prohibit states from requiring GM labeling. People have been more accurately calling this the Denying Americans the Right to Know, or DARK Act. The DARK Act has already passed in the House of Representatives and is awaiting a vote in the Senate. We hope we've piqued your interest. If you're worried about GMOs, the best thing you can do is educate yourself. You can read more about GMOs from the World Health Organization. And if you think you deserve the right to know which food contains GMOs, tell your congressperson.